What's he up to now, I hear you ask? When I'm bored, I do some silly things. We all have dreams, don't we? Well, every now and again, for a bit of fun, I imagine that have unlimited funds. Now, this started again with a recurring dream, not like every night, but it's happened several occasions where I instigate an agent to go and buy me a luxurious country property, and money is no object. And basically his job is to go in and say, how much would you sell your property for? I'm sorry, sir, it's not for sale. No, you're not listening. How much would you sell your property for? Name your price. Oh, I'd have to get that. No, just name your price. What do you think it's worth? £1,000,000? We'll ask for 2 then. My client has unlimited funds and wants your property, and how soon can you get out? Oh, I'd love to be able to do something like that. Anyway, along the silliness, I'm sure we all imagine if we had this amount of money, we'd go and buy a certain property, you know. It's called a dream. Well, let's go and have a look at me playing that silly game. This estate agent lists some of the top properties for sale. I'm specifically looking at Dorset now. I'm on the edge of Dorset currently. Quite honestly, the other side of Dorset is the best bit. And as you sort of come down these properties, you know, you've got these sort of grand fronted places, country properties, and you go right past one because it doesn't look anything special. And that's this one that says under offer here. That does not look anything special. Oh yeah. What about that for a garden? You know, this is see the table and chairs? This is the morning coffee. That is going to be full of bird song. I know the area. It is very rural, so you'd have peace and quiet, bird song, you know. Let's go and have a look. Now, this is the bit that got me, is the front, well, I presume that's the front view of the house. It was that funny little pointy window thing in the middle, which doesn't look much from the outside. Yeah, stroll round here with your coffee. This is a wildflower meadow. As part of the property, it's a wildflower meadow. That would have to be managed. It'll probably have to be cut down like twice a year at special times to make sure the flowers can seed ready for the next year, you know. And there's that funny window. Look at the light and the view out onto the wildflowers. It looks like it's got wooden floors and stonework everywhere, which I like, both of that. And it's got something I've always wanted. It's got a fireplace and a chimney in the middle of the room. Not on the edge, not on the outside. That wood burner stove is in the middle. So it gives off heat both ways. Or I imagine it does anyway. Look at the light. You don't look at furnishings when you're looking at a house. You just look at the shape, the outline, and I really do like that central stone with the fire in the middle, giving off heat in 2 directions, all round basically, because the whole of that stone exit for the smoke out of the roof would heat up. Imagine that in the winter, nice and cosy. Modern kitchen. Flagstone floor. It just gets better. The more I look at this, the more I like it. I mean, the problem with a lot of these expensive properties out in the country like this is they're too flipping big. They're all like 10-bedroom properties with 3 garages. What am I going to do with that? Whereas this isn't too big. Oh, and look, it's already got a pond. A formal pond. Yeah? And nice flower beds all round, and everywhere you look in this garden there's a bench. There's somewhere to sit and look and just be there. That's the wildflower meadow outside the pointy window bit. I mean, look at this garden. It just goes on and on. There's just so many different views. I love that arch. You know, again, it looks almost overgrown. It is managed, but it looks wild. It looks country. It doesn't look too formal, even though it's got some straight edges in places. But it's got curves, little paths. It's got a piano. And in a place like that in the middle of nowhere, you could make as much noise as you like. I love that balcony. I just like that idea of that balcony. I just like that. It's, you know, it's different, something unusual. I haven't found anywhere to put all my orchids yet. It's just more views of the house. The stonework is old and traditional, and yet there's modern there as well, with the wooden flooring and stuff. That view out onto that garden again. So the garden isn't flat. That's something else I don't like, is a flat garden. It's got terraces and tiers and some slopes. It's you know, feels like you're out in the country. We're obviously upstairs now. That's part of a bedroom. You don't normally have two settees in a bedroom. That's that balcony overlooking the. You see, out the other side of the boundary of the property is open fields. So you really are out in the country there. What a lovely place to set up the computer and sit there and, you know, do my computing stuff in the morning. Bedroom with an ensuite. I don't pay much attention to bedrooms. You go in there and shut your eyes and go to sleep. They don't have to be that special. You need one or two. I think this has got 3 or 4. Probably too many. Nice modern bathroom. There's that pointy window again with the view out into that. It's a semi-wild area because it's got lawn, which is formal, but then there's that wildflower meadow to look at. And on out into the... And look at this for a walk in the morning. Around under the trees with all that dappled sunlight. And it's tiered, it's layered. So this would be one of the lower layers. And then there's a higher layer sort of up to the left there. And it's got mature trees in it. I've always wanted a garden with mature trees. And some semi-wild bits that have just been left to naturally grow and just have a path sort of every so often so that you've got somewhere to walk without going in the long grass, trampling on the flowers. But I like the idea of the layers. And there's another little bench tucked away. Could do with the hedge trimmed a bit. You know, you sit there, you've got your water bath there for the birds. And sit there under that nice tree in the morning, you know. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here, because it's obviously a driveway and somebody's decided nobody's going to drive up it and put those bushes in the way. I don't know what that's all about. Something odd. There's another view of that wildflower. And yet another bench to sit and watch the wildflowers. Listen to the bees, watch the butterflies. There's a more formal element to it as well. It does say there's a big workshop and a timber framed greenhouse. Well, the greenhouse is nowhere near big enough to deal with that. It needs to be a lot bigger than that. It could even be perhaps attached to the workshop, which would become the potting area and all that sort of stuff. Dream on. A bit more formal stuff there. Imagine having to water all those tubs. You know, when we get a dry spell. Oh, you'd get them. Oh, if you had the sort of money to have a place like this, you wouldn't go out watering the tub yourself, would you? You'd have a man in inverted commas, a person. You'd have somebody to come and help with the garden, you know, a few days a week or something. Aerial view. This is the way the sort of formal lawn, the cut lawn and the square edges blend in with the curved edges and the hedges and the trees. You know, I mean, you can see there, if you follow that cut grass area off to the right of the view, there's a hedge there with a hole in it. There's more property through there to go and see, you know. And then there's a little quiet area like that. I can't work out where that is. Is that the back of the work store? Because it doesn't look like it's part of the house, because the walls are a different colour. But another place to sit, have a coffee. Everywhere there's places to sit and enjoy this view. Ah, and the pond has actually got a rill, which hopefully has got moving water. Hopefully there's water drawn from the main pond that comes up to the top of the rill and gently flows through. That would be nice. There's the back view of the house. Another view of the back of the house, and that's the last picture. So, like I said, you know, we dream on. we dream about a place like that. Now this place is, what's it on for? Oh, it's on for £1 million. So better buy a lottery ticket, I suppose. But quite honestly, what you get for your £1 million nowadays is nothing like, you know, when I was a kid, when we were at school, we used to dream, what will you do with £1 million? And it was an outrageous amount of money. There weren't many people in the UK had £1 million in those days. Now the millionaires are common as muck. I'm not mucking about. They are. It's not so difficult to become a millionaire nowadays. Well, impossible for me, as I say, without a winning lottery ticket. But I really do like the feel of this place, and it's not very often I see these properties and actually, you know, really thoroughly enjoy sort of looking at them. Because a lot of these properties are just too big. It's just too much, or the land is too formal. You know, there's some great places and some hugely expensive places. I mean, it's like this place top right. Now, I would never have a thatched property because of the fire risk, and plus the fact you have to have the roof renewed every 20 years or something, and you know, costs an arm and a leg to get that done. But it's just a lawn. You know, yes, it's got a lot of land, and it's a lawn. That's not a garden. That's grass. It does nothing for me, that sort of place. If this place here, Weelm, if the property's up there overlooking the river, that would be nice. But you know, as I said, you know, what you get for your money is they're just too big, and the grounds just look like they would need a lot of maintenance for little return, because all you're doing is cutting grass. It's like this home farm here. It's just grass. There's no real sort of garden there. I mean, this St James looks as though it's got a bit more of a structure to the garden. But, yeah, I love looking at these. I don't do it often. It's just a little game I play every now and again. This top left one is a wooden hut in the middle of a forest. Now that could appeal to some people. I'm not knocking that. If you look at this Woodhouse Hill, the top right, I mean, that is a grand property, you know, and that is 200,000 less than the £1 million. You know, sometimes these prices just don't seem to go, if you know what I mean. But yeah, all good fun. Oh, site's collapsed. It's probably a good job of spending money I haven't got. But that property just appealed to me. Just the way the light came into the property, and that nature was all around it with places to sit. Like I say, enjoy the bees, the butterflies, you know, there would be newts and frogs in that pond. Birds would come to drink each day. You know, fabulous place to be. Yeah, like I said, in my dreams. Oh dear. See you next time. A bit of nonsense.